A note on Solaris, as adapted for the BBC. BBC Radio. I have seen recently the film, the version which is generally acclaimed and considered a wonderful work of art. The one directed by Andrei Tarkovsky, not the more recent production with very good George Clooney in the lead role. Was it Natasha Richardson? I don't remember. Anyway, it's a complex science fiction story which I tended to look at today. I finished it earlier, the BBC adaptation, as a love story. Love story with complications, with an ocean which is interfering in people's life. We're on another planet, and we have interesting characters, but still, I thought of the love story much more. Granted, because the other was too complex. I think this ocean, this being, this thing, this spirit, whatever it is, has affected me too, and I don't. The vibes didn't make me, didn't allow me to make the proper connections. I noted down here an idea on immigration because it's relevant in the world of today with the bans and then the repeated bans of the tunnel in the White House. And then, of course, the issue with immigration elsewhere, people trying to escape the war in Syria, moving in large numbers to Germany and wherever they can. They said at one point, was it Sartorius? No, I think it was Snow talking to Chris, who is the hero. Well, if they wouldn't let you with Rhea because of immigration, the immigration rules. So this Rhea, for a while, I didn't know what she is or it is. Neither did the narrator, the protagonist, Chris, I think. And that's because she is a creation that looks, acts, thinks like a human. Indeed, at one point, there is this statement, again made by Snow, I think, wherein he says something like, "Look, you know how they are, these machines, robots, artificial intelligence, so to say. They are near human. They stay long enough to adapt, to learn everything more about him, this and the ocean." They also refer to the fact that we only use 2% of our brain. So imagine and realize that these spirits, the ocean, the artificial intelligence, which we also know from Singularity that it will surpass, I mean, it has already surpassed human capabilities in so many ways. The chess world champion has been beaten a long time ago. I mean, 10 years, is it, or more? And now the Go player, world champion, had to admit defeat, faced with a human machine. Even if this was thought to be so complex and requires so much creativity that a machine will not be able to do it. Yes, it has the power to process so much information so quickly, but not the complexity, the creativity, as I said, required to beat the. But still, it did. Driving seems again to be self-driving cars, the future, especially given that they drove self-driving cars went on the road for millions of miles, I don't know, 2 million now, with only minor accidents, and as far as I knew, provoked by human error, when the human went, sat and used the wheel to control. There are some setbacks. There's been an accident involving a Tesla machine and the interference of the pilot, but the automatic pilot or something like that in the machine, but it's being analyzed. It was the context, the truck, whatever. Now I see that Uber has cancelled its tests because something else happened in some other place. So I don't know. There's always this fear that the machines will Elon Musk himself, I think, and Stephen Hawking expressed fears that artificial intelligence, if not managed correctly, can represent danger and can do harm. And it's possible. But the way it looks like now, from Singularity, we get that around in about 20 years from now or so. No, less. What am I saying? What? 35? 2135. Anyway, was it in the book? There would be a peak, and a machine, an artificial intelligence would have all the knowledge of human beings on the planet, if I express it correctly. And that's overwhelming, outstanding, and maybe outrageous for some. One other thing, one other film which came to mind when listening to Solaris earlier was Her, and I thought that was amazing, with Joaquin Phoenix and the voice, the suave, attractive, sexy, enticing voice of Scarlett Johansson. Indeed, there's a software who learns so much about you, and it becomes whatever you want her to be. She's ideal. The hero in Her falls in love with her, or it, the software. And the same thing here, Rare, which is in an interesting way short nickname, whatever I use for my name is Realini, and sometimes it's used as Rare. Never mind the whole thing. Is artificially created, but then I was thinking that's interesting. I would like something like that, because it's interesting to have this challenge, and someone who, while having conversations and opposing you, still can be so much as you like her to be.